Hi everybody. Good morning. This is a camera test. Really, I don't have a whole lot to say today. Or maybe I do. I've proven myself wrong every time when I think that. I hope you're having a really good day. I would like to encourage you, if you think you have a medical thing, you should get it checked out, because there's a lot of medication out there that's available now that didn't exist before. And I'm saying this because I have a good friend who I think has some cognitive issues and doesn't want to get it checked out. I put off getting attention for my illness. I know what it's like to not want to see a doctor. I get it. But the doctors are not bad guys. They didn't go into the job because they wanted to hurt people. Most of them went into the job because they wanted to help people. Yeah, that's just a little word to the wise. That's all I'm going to say about that. I am curious to know what you guys think of this camera angle. I just don't know. There's one joint on this camera doodad that is a little wibbly wobbly. And although I had it stuck to the sunroof and it was working in that way, I do think there was a lot of extra vibration that we didn't need. Nobody needed all of that shaky camera stuff. But it started to shimmy so much that the camera would actually rotate. And that was not sanctioned by me. So I gotta, so I've got it cradled in a different spot now. And it's resting on the dashboard. It is blocking an AC vent, which is not ideal. Not excited about blocking my AC vent with the summer coming on. But we're doing what we can. I can't have it where it used to be, because when the sun beams down, it overheats and then the camera just shuts off. So just experimenting and solving problems as we go. That's what I'm doing. So today I'm on my way to the law office, and my heart is a little sad because they have cut my work in half. The CPA wants to take over some of the bookkeeping. Okay, all right. I'm a little sad about it, but they're going to pay me my full amount for 3 months while I transition to, amp up my income. So, I love these guys. I love working for them. They're great. But they're growing really fast, and I'm not a super sophisticated bookkeeper. I'm okay. But I'm not, a financial genius. And there's a point where you outgrow your first people, So they've outgrown me, which I'm happy for them. I got a tickle. So I had to put a gum. Yeah. And it's just inspiration to do other things. So I'm happy to report I reached out to a friend who apparently is doing some kind of writing gig that keeps her very busy and very well funded. So I sent her a text like, what's up with that and how can I get in on that? I will see her this weekend, and I'll follow up. And then I sent a text to another friend who, she had sold a TV show, and she said, if it gets picked up to air, would you be happy to be on the writing staff? And I said, 1,000 times yes. And then her show didn't get picked up, which I think is a mistake, because it's a good idea. And she's a good writer. It's a good show. I was very drawn in to the pilot. So, the likelihood of that getting picked up into a show is very low. So that, I think that ship has sailed. Although I still would be very happy to work on that show. I sent her a text saying, let's get lunch. And I'm going to inquire about an introduction to her agent and or manager. These are all very scary things. I feel all clutched up even thinking about it. But I think I need to just move forward in spite of the fear. Because what do I fear? I fear they're going to say, no, we don't want to meet with you. And then after that, after they meet, no, we don't want to represent you. No, we don't like your writing. So I'm afraid of no. No is the thing I'm afraid of. Okay? So instead of letting it fester like a piece of moldy food in the fridge, why don't I just go ahead and put the feelers out there? And if my worst imaginings are true and they fully reject me, at least I cleaned it out and I can stop thinking about it. And then from there, I've got to find other ways to get an agent, if that's how that works out. So, wish me luck, please. I'm so clutched up inside about it, but it's like being at the top of the high dive. That's how I feel. There's only two ways down from the high dive. You jump off the end or you climb down the ladder. And I feel like I'm going to jump off the end because that's who I am. And that's the feeling I have right now, and that's where I am. So I'm taking the chance. Nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking. But you don't get anything if you don't risk. And what is the risk? The risk is somebody says no. The risk is that my situation stays exactly the same. That's the risk? Okay. Well, I'm coping, so I can go ahead and take this risk. Ooh, watch your butt, dude. You gotta keep your head on a swivel. This is the street where nobody stops at the stop signs. The stop signs are here just for decoration. They're just suggestions. They're not actually enforced or anything. So it's Thursday. I've got a laundry list of things to do, including laundry. And so I think I'm going to be busy with the mundane over the weekend. But I think I'm going to look for other things to do besides chore-y things. I need to just broaden my horizons a bit. I used to go to this facility called Writer's Block, and basically it was a gym for writers. You just show up, and they had two kinds of sessions. They had a sprint session where you would write for 50 minutes, and then you would have a little 10 minutes of discussion with a couple of other writers at the end. And then they had longer sessions. I think they were like an hour and a half. Those ones I really loved because I could really dial in to what I was doing. And I loved it. And then thanks to COVID, that went away. And when the restrictions lifted, somebody tried to do something similar, and they found a place, but it wasn't a safe place. There was no parking. Somebody said you can't park in this place because it makes the homeless upset. I'd be upset just being homeless. I think being unhoused, experiencing homelessness is upsetting, period. I don't know why you have to qualify it by saying if you do this, you will upset them. I'd be so upset and in so much distress. But it also told me this is not an area where I need to be. If I need to fear the unhoused, then I'm really in a bad place. So I passed on joining. That wasn't going to be a good fit for me. I tried to do a couple of the sessions, like imitating it here on a couple of my earlier videos. And the feedback I got was that this was not a thing to do, that I was the only one interested in this nonsense. So I don't know what to think. A rogue lady with a cane busting across 4 lanes of traffic at a snail's pace. It's, people are crazy. Okay, I don't have a 4-hour slot. I gotta find a 2-hour slot. And I gotta get around a double parked Sparklets truck. Okay, so I'm about where I need to go. I think this was a good experiment. Let me know what you think of the angle on this, if this is bullshit or if it's okay. And thank you for putting up with all the learning I'm doing using this device and doing this vlog. I do enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. That's all. Have a good one.